if you've got somebody coming after you, great. That means you're doing something.
Exactly.
That's
right.
Man, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Break your arm.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back because you're getting noticed. You're doing something.
Yeah.
And people have recognized it. And, there's some quotes on TikTok right now that it said the other day, it's real common to see on TikTok. It says, nobody's proud of you. Well, guess what? Probably nobody is proud of you.
Yeah.
I mean.
But you got to be proud of yourself.
It comes from in here.
Yeah.
Any strength you get, your core, your person, who you are, your soul, it all comes from in here. Yeah. You decide.
Welcome to Stockville.
Coming to you live from the Stockville studios. Sponsored by our friends at Rush Peterbilt, Rush Lufkin, Texas, Rush Enterprises.
Rush Truck Centers.
Yeah.
Look at here. Hey, every week, it just keeps getting better and better.
Quality without question.
That's actually the TriState. That's not Rush.
Yeah, that's TriState.
Look.
On the back.
Look, Rush made us these.
Yeah.
Is there no limit to how much stuff Rush is going to give us?
Man, I don't know. That's just good people over there.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. Here's what we might ought to do. We might ought to stop showing all the stuff that Rush has been giving us. Because somebody at Rush Lufkin's going to get in trouble from the corporate office. They're going to be like, hey, man, stop giving all the stuff away to the Stockville guys.
We got T-shirts and hats and sweatshirts and hoodies.
Yeah, jackets.
Yeah.
But then then they're just gonna tell them, man, you got now go watch Truckin with Troy, and you'll see why.
Yeah,
they're getting all the stuff they're getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the CEO of Rush Truck Center?
Rusty. Yeah, Rusty Rush.
We just need to have Rusty on the show.
He probably come on.
I mean, Rusty, we coming for you, man. We want you to come on the show, man. We want you to sit down and talk to us about how, I don't know if you were from the beginning, if you built Rush Truck Center or.
He took it over.
Yeah.
From his dad.
So his dad started it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's somebody, that would be it's Truckin with Troy.
Yes,
so is Rusty the one on the commercial, the main dude on the commercial?
No, I don't think so.
That's not his.
I don't think so. We went to his ranch down there, phenomenal hunting ranch, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a month ago or something.
Yeah.
Well, somebody commented on one of the YouTubes, one of the podcast videos when you had the hunting ranch hat on, and he was like, "Oh man, yeah. I just seen the hat."
Yeah.
Do you know who that was?
That's the thing about the either YouTube or TikTok, either one. You don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be talking, and that's why I treat everyone the same, not because I don't know who I'm talking to, but sometimes you really don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And there's, we've seen some lessons where, somebody comes at you, and I've seen some guys, they go back on attack, and there's a good lesson in that. There's a really good lesson in just because someone attacks you online, which happens to us every day.
Every day.
There's not a day that goes by that we don't get attacked for something.
How many attacks a day?
Crazy.
Would you say?
At least one, but you can
probably on my private messages 5 or 6.
Yeah, you talked about in the last podcast.
Stupid stuff.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
stupid,
yeah.
And so I don't respond to any of it because
there's no sense in it.
Because why?
Yeah, that's what they want.
Yeah, they just want to fight. They're on their trolling. They just want to fight. So each one of these podcasts, I try to give some insightful information to hopefully make your life calmer and make it less stressful and I've said it more than one time. You got 24 hours. How are you going to spend it?
Yeah.
Are you really going to spend your 24 hours a day, even 3% of it or 5% of your time, arguing with some troll who's sitting at home on a beanbag eating Cheetos,
right,
in his underwear?
Yep.
He's just using up your time. He's just living rent free in your mind.
Yeah, and the thing is you see
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, but you see it like it comes with the success. Like when you're not, when you're not growing and it's not something that a lot of people look at, that you don't get that. Like you don't get the negativity and the hate. you know, and then once people start seeing you be successful, that's when it starts coming. If you got it outside of that, it's just on a personal matter of some sort, you know, but the success brings on the negativity and the people that just start for no reason, you know.
Right.
And it happens that way. And majority of the time, a successful person isn't going to hate on another successful person.
That's true.
Not much.
It's going to be somebody that's wanting to capitalize off of your success in some form or fashion. So the only way they see doing it is by being negative towards you and getting you to interact with them and acknowledge it, and then it brings attention to them.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Because if you're busy, you're busy. You don't have time to hate on other people.
Well, I think too, and I don't know if you could prove this. I think it's probably different to everyone, but I think that lashing out, you know, the way that people do online, it's generally not from a more successful person to a lower successful person, however you want to categorize that, whether it be, you know, a size of a company or money or position or whatever. It's generally from lower up.
Yeah.
It's generally like that. Like, I mean, I go back and look at some of the people that have really come after me in private messages, and I look back at their videos or their posts, and they don't work. I mean, I literally think they're sitting in their underwear eating Cheetos like Ron White, you know? I mean, I really think that. And so, you know, you got a choice to make. And you know, one of our friends is going through some stuff right now because he chose to lash back out at this, you know, social media mess that's going on, and now there's a bunch of stuff going on about it, and I'm like, I mean, you should have never got involved with it to start with. Man. It's social media.
It is.
It's not even real. It's social media.
But I mean, it's even if it is real and it's in person, like, you know, I mean, which it does change the situation if it's in person. But even if it is, like, there's always, not always, but there's 99% of the time there's a way to avoid it, even if it's in person. You know what I mean? But what gets in the way a lot of times, I think, is your pride, you know, and you feel like, oh, I have to defend myself instead of just letting it be, you know, and just turning away from it. But you know, we all got to live and we have to grow, you know, from decisions and things that we make. And yeah, the social media just has taken that and like just catapulted.
Oh yeah, because
people feel so much tougher.
Well, it goes like to Mike Tyson. You know, Mike Tyson, he had one of the greatest quotes that I know of today, and I'm going to get it wrong, but I mean, you could Google it, but it says something like, you know, to the effect of, and you should go Google it and check it out, because look on, good idea. Look it up, Mike Tyson, where he says, too many people have gotten too used to saying whatever they want on social media without the repercussions of a fist in their mouth.
Yeah. Pretty much what it says.
Well, there's no point in looking it up now. That was pretty good.
Sounds like a Mike Tyson quote.
That sounds.
Yeah. But it's true. And so when those things come up, and that wasn't the topic that I wanted to talk about today, we can get into that next. But you know, when you get these things and they hit you all the time, I mean, you guys, you just remember that, you know, to the guys tuning in. If you've got somebody coming after you, great. That means you're doing something.
Exactly.
That's right. Man, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Break your arm.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back because you're getting noticed. You're doing something.
Yeah.
And people have recognized it. And, you know, there's some quotes on TikTok right now that it said the other day, it's real common to see on TikTok. It says, nobody's proud of you. Well, guess what? Probably nobody is proud of you.
Yeah.
I mean.
But you got to be proud of yourself.
It comes from in here.
Yeah.
Any strength you get, your core, your person, who you are, your soul, it all comes from in here.
Yeah.
You decide.
Yeah.
And so when people start coming after you, you've got a decision to make.
Yeah.
And it's always been for me, whatever. I don't really care what you think about me.
Yeah.
I mean.
That's the way you have to function, because at the end of the day, you know, as long as the people closest to you look at you in a positive manner and you move in a positive manner.
That's right.
It don't matter what anybody else thinks.
You can't hear that noise.
Nah, man.
You just can't hear it because for every one or two supporters, I mean, there's always going to be, or say 10 supporters, there's always going to be one or two, that are jealous and they just find some reason. And some, I thought about it some this weekend, because along the way through TriState, and I don't know this to be fact, it's just something I think about. I've lost friends along the way, and I've heard countless times about how I'm different.
Yeah.
I've changed.
Yeah.
The success changed me. The money changed me. I don't think so.
Well, but
it could be their perception. It's their perception of you changing.
Okay, so it's almost like we rehearsed this.
Mm.
It's almost like we rehearsed this, and we did not rehearse this. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Your perception of me changed, so now you don't like me.
Right.
Yeah, or they view you different. They expect you to do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly right.
Because you're always little Troy from.
Yep.
Right. Why you gotta be little, man?
Well, I'm talking about.
Do I need to put? Hey, hold on, put some air in my
Put
seat.
some air in
I'm
that
talking about
seat,
little
bro.
young.
Raise up.
It's just, I'm a truck driver, so naturally, y'all see that?
Sit on the floor, man.
Naturally, when I get in, I think I'm in a Peterbilt, and I'm like, will this seat not go any lower?
Hey, hit it again. There we go.
Hey, hold up, let me do it again.
Yeah.
Let me hit that thing again.
All right, so let's address the elephant in the room. We are not in the same location this week.
We had to improvise.
Improvisation.
What?
Improvisation.
Out of all people, is that?
That ain't even a real word.
Well, I was gonna say, out of all people here,
Plural.
I was thinking that Tim would be the one that knows how to pronunciate certain words.
Hey,
because Troy definitely does.
I just made up a word.
it worked.
Improvisation. It's plural of improvise.
Hey, but I will say for the viewers, you see I got my drum set behind me.
Mm-hmm.
You see Tim sitting on the other side.
And if you want to know the truth, that is exactly why I did this. I had to put this table in the middle.
Tim, you stay off my drum set.
I'm trying.
Just for the viewers.
But I do spend a lot of time alone up here with these drums.
For the viewers that cannot see Troy's drum set behind him because it's not in the frame, his drum set is behind him. Yeah, look, yeah. There they are.
Stay away from the drum set.
All right, so the reason we're in this situation is we do all have real jobs.
We actually have a job, and this one doesn't pay.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But you got to stop speaking that, bro. You got to speak it into fruition that this is going to start making money.
This is going to make money.
It is.
Fruition. Not food-ishing.
No,
Fruit-ishing.
I said fruition.
You said?
Fruition.
Okay.
You can't talk today and you can't hear.
I don't know what's.
Are you woke up?
I got something in my ear. I've been up since 6:50.
That's the
Wow.
problem. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we were doing this podcast.
Now you were so excited as you woke up early.
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all want to know what?
This is my passion right here. This is.
You know what
the
time I
deal.
got up? 2:30.
Oh.
Want to know why?
You got me beat.
What happened?
Because I got a toothache right now that
Oh.
I'm struggling to even sit here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, you know, when we talked about that at the Christmas party
Mm.
Saturday night, he was talking about how he had a toothache that was hurting him so bad before he went to the dentist to get it pulled out. He never complained.
Man,
Never.
Abby said, no, he complained about it. I never heard him complain.
I'm struggling right now.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Will you go tomorrow?
Yeah.
You got a good dentist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best.
The best.
All right.
He's going to be on our show,
Yeah.
Who is he?
Dr. Puffer.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Yeah. I'm going to get him on our show.
World renowned.
No,
I don't know.
he's for real world renowned. He's like top 400 or 700.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. 400 or 700 in what they call that? Did you see that deal I shared on Facebook?
Mm.
Yeah, he's like one of 700 dentists worldwide.
I don't follow you on Facebook.
Probably don't. I got 3 followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know I follow Troy.
Anyways, he's world renowned.
Yeah.
He's right there in Nacogdoches, Texas, and he's got a great personality. So yeah, let me read that text this morning. I texted him.
Yeah. So we didn't shoot this past Friday. We had other stuff going on. I've been under the weather. Still feel a little under the weather, but doing our day jobs.
Not the Omicron.
Not the Omicron.
Not the
Hey,
Omicron.
this is what I texted him this morning at 7:45. I said, "Good morning, world-renowned dentist. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it 4 months on tooth number 30. Please squeeze me in. I'm tied up Tuesday and Wednesday. Very busy this week. But in the meantime, if you could squeeze me in, sorry to bug you on text message."
And I think this was on a weekend.
This is this morning.
Oh, okay.
Because I made it through the weekend, but I was awake from 2:30 this morning up. I might as well have just got up and come to work because, I mean, it was like my head was pounding.
He's in Nacogdoches.
He's in Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
And something more about me is I don't take medication for
Nothing.
anything. I take
Ibuprofen.
at the most a leave.
Gotcha.
I take a leave.
Yeah.
I mean, so I
It's
shouldn't
probably
say-
easier on your stomach.
I don't take any pain medicine. I don't take anything for no anxiety, no mood swing. I mean, I'm like prescription free.
Right.
I take antibiotics if I start feeling sick.
Right.
So anyways, he texts me back. He says, "I appreciate your very formal text. I hardly know who I'm talking to. I will get you squeezed in as quickly as possible, as Tuesday and Wednesday are a no-go." I said, "Very formal, huh? Let me try again. Hey, Doc, this tooth got to go. It hurts muy mal. Kept me up all night again. I almost went out to my shop and pulled it out with greasy pliers." And he said, "Yeah, I can understand that. We'll get you in."
So you're gonna have to pull it. It's got to go.
Man, what happened was I had a root canal done on this tooth a while back from a different dentist, and I guess I don't know much about teeth. I don't know, but apparently the tooth died. All I know is that mug hurts.
Yeah.
Does a root canal hurt?
A root canal hurts less than what my tooth hurts right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like it's excruciating pain.
I went to the dentist so much when I was a kid because I had so many bad cavities and stuff when I was a kid.
I've had bad teeth my whole life.
I hate going to the dentist.
So we talked about with the dentist. We need to move on because I want to save this.
Just so y'all know, we talk about anything on this show.
Hey,
But to wrap it up, go to the dentist.
yeah, go see your dentist.
Go to the dentist because
Don't put that off.
You're gonna have to get the work done. It's gonna be worse later. So just go ahead and get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, get it done now. Take time out.
Fun fact, I'm actually drinking coffee this morning.
Way to go.
Yeah,
Yep.
need it, man.
Long applause.
That's a long applause.
Short
Yeah.
applause.
So, anyways, I did have a topic we didn't go over, and I wanted to touch on. We tend not to talk about nationwide topics on this program, but I want to make an exception for this one because I think it's important, and I think this ties into your personal life as well. So, as you heard, Central Freight Lines closed today.
Chayaka.
96 years they've been in business.
Golly.
Wow.
96 years. And you've heard me, Stephen, we spend a lot of time together. So you've heard me say time and time again, I study companies' failures more than I study successes because I want to learn what not to do.
Exactly. Which is funny because my cousin posted a Facebook the other day that was talking about how he wanted to fail and how he wanted his children to fail, but to succeed in their failures.
Yes.
And I said, it's funny that you say that because a mentor, because I look at Troy as a mentor in my life. I said a mentor that I have now has said when people ask him how is he successful, he'll tell you, I can't really tell you what I've done right, but I can tell you what I did wrong the first time so you don't make those same mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
So growing up, I tell you, I've got all these sayings that I repeat in my mind. So my dad always told me, stupid little saying, but it means so much. A bought lesson is a well-learned lesson. That means when you pull in your pocket and you reach out and you pay for that lesson, you ain't gonna forget it.
Yeah.
So if you take that attitude and you give it as much weight as watching someone else fail,
Yeah.
and you can watch anyone,
Everybody has failed.
everyone fails.
Yeah.
And some of them are real quick, and some of them are like a hurricane coming, and you can see it for days and days and days and years
Yeah.
and years and years, and you're like, well, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
But you can't tell them. So you can see it in other people, and you can learn lessons. So
That's nuts, man.
Central Freight Lines
2,100 employees will be laid off right before Christmas.
today,
Yeah.
and they're out on the road, stranded. They have to
God.
find their way home, leave the trucks wherever. I
Are
guess.
you serious?
Yeah, they just. I guess they just leave the truck. I don't know what they do.
So what? Oh, you don't know what they?
I don't know
haul?
if they.
Well, I tell you, I know what some do, but then I know what others do. Some people are just going to park the trucks and find a way home, whether they get a bus ticket, a plane ticket,
Yeah.
a family member. Some people will feel like, nah, I've probably worked here a long time. I need to at least take the truck back to the warehouse.
But some people, like one guy that I know who faced this same situation a long, long time ago, you know what he did? He pulled over at an exit, truck stop, opened the back doors, sold everything in the trailer, took the cash, and got a bus ride home.
Man,
Man,
that's what I'm talking about.
People will do it.
that's mafia right there, boy.
Hey, man, that's,
Yeah,
but
we're gonna survive.
Well, but that's it. Are they gonna they're probably not gonna get any kind of payout. They're
Nope.
just getting laid off because they're closing the doors, probably because they're bankrupt. And
So that's what we're going to get into is personal decisions. That your personal life is no different than a business because your house is a business.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to spend 5 or 10 minutes talking about decisions that you make, especially during the holidays.
Here's the big. I had this topic today.
Tim raises his hand like he's in class.
Excuse me, sir. A question.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say
Go
today,
ahead.
I was going to bring up the topic at some point. Principle. What principles can you absolutely not break? And this might tie in to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's decisions, principles, different things that you cannot break these rules.
So any bank, any reputable bank could give you guidelines for debt. And they could tell you, don't go over this much percentage on your house, this much percentage on all these deals.
Right.
And you could get it off the internet too, I'm sure. Keep in mind, though, this is very important. Banks are in the business to loan out money
Yeah, and make money off of it.
and earn fees
Exactly.
because they make millions and millions and millions of dollars off of overdraft fees
Yeah.
and late fees and things like that.
Yeah.
They don't really want you to be late, but they cash in on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hot checks. I mean,
Bam.
lots and lots and lots of money banks make off of, spotting you $300 because you went overdraft.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the way it's built. It's built in.
It's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And so when you go buy a house and they approve you for 300,000, doesn't necessarily mean you can afford it.
Right.
They're going to approve you for the maximum. They don't care if you eat ramen noodles.
Right.
So if you go to the bank and you say, "Hey, I'm going to get a pre-approval on a house," and they say, "Okay, we're going to preview," 2 weeks later they come back and say, "We evaluated your situation. We're going to give you $300,000 letter. You go find your house."
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean you need to go find a 350 and then get it down to 300 or a 325, get it down to 300. If you're moving up and you're coming from like a 150,
Yeah.
maybe move to like a 250 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that way you leave yourself, a little bit of cushion.
Because you're not going to be used to that mortgage.
You're
note.
still moving up.
Yeah.
And then think about if your note goes up $1,000 a month. All right, where's that money coming from? Because you didn't just get. Okay, and this is another thing. I learned this the hard way because when you think about it, if you got $1,000 a month raise, you say, okay, well I can afford $1,000 more. No, you can't because you got taxes, Social Security,
Yeah.
$401k.
It's not going to be $1,000.
You're what's your net gonna be? $500-$600.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of times, and I see people and I've done it.
Yeah.
Throughout my life, I'm like, man, I just got a raise. I'm gonna go buy me a 4-wheeler now. I got a $200 a month raise. I'm gonna go buy me a $200 4-wheeler. Well, I just went negative. I went negative $50
Yeah.
because I spent more than I got because I was thinking about the gross.
Yeah.
And so the same thing can apply to a 96-year-old company with 2,000 employees.
That's crazy.
Central Freight, as busy as trucking is right now,
Yeah.
from a quick glance, you say, how in the world could a 96-year-old company fail?
Yeah.
Same principle.
So what happened? Like,
I read into it some. Are you looking it up?
Mm-hmm.
I read into it some. It looks like they spent more than they made, and they couldn't solve their debt problem. They tried to sell. No one wanted them because
nobody wants to buy debt
because they had too much debt.
Yeah.
So they just, I think they weren't even going to file Chapter 11 reorg. I think they're just going to file Chapter 7 and they're just out.
Really?
Yeah.
So after Chapter 7, you can't. You're done.
You're just done. You're closed down.
Yeah.
It's crazy too. I mean, because I remember, as far back as I can remember as being a kid, like seeing those trucks.
96 years old.
Yeah.
2,100 people, 2,000 people.
That's crazy, man.
At Christmas.
Yeah, right before Christmas, get laid off.
Those guys got laid off today. And I read stories, Alex posted a video, Asian Mai, our buddy.
Yeah,
Shout out to Alex. He's got good content.
Asian
man.
Mai show. Man, he's on it too.
Yeah.
Like,
He is on top of it.
He's phenomenal at what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I read his comments, and people that work at Central were commenting.
Yeah.
And man, there's so many people that were there 37 years, 22 years, 27 years, 29 years, and they were, and it's just heart wrenching.
So you hear this, like, okay, so like, say like on some movies, I've seen some movies and stuff like where things like this happen, and people get laid off. I can't remember what the show was. It might have been a comedy or something, a rom-com. Y'all know, you know what I watch, but all the pension was gone. Is that the case here too?
I don't know.
Oh, you talking about
Well, if it's 401k, then
Jim Carrey movie?
If it's 401k, then it's protected because each individual has their own 401k.
Right, but if the company matched it, then it's not.
Well, that would have been
The match wouldn't be there, would it? Or does that go in?
It depends on vested period.
Yeah.
It depends on if it's a 3-year vested period, then they possibly lose that match.
So if we talked about what would be the example of a company overspending, how do they get themselves in that mess? They're spending more than they make.
Yeah.
What are they spending? What are they overspending on?
I would have to look at their P&L statement and see.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be easy to identify.
Right.
I mean, did they buy too many new tractors all at one time? Did they buy, first thing I'm going to look at the utilization of the equipment.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm going to look at because in trucking,
boy, we get the last drop of energy out of these trucks over here.
Yeah.
I got you.
But you have to.
So the things that I do with TriState, when you have as many trucks as we have, the top 3 things I'm going to look at utilization, I'm going to look at fuel, and I'm going to look at repair and maintenance. That's my top 3. And if I can keep those 3 things in line,
yeah,
and I've got 3 good guys that are in charge of that, and they're my go-to guys, whether it be the maintenance or the fuel or the debt and the utilization. Well, the utilization falls down under all the truck pushers, so we got about 10 truck pushers, and so if you can keep those things in line, and that's why it's easier with like 7 trucks because you can do all those jobs. You're responsible for it.
Right.
Right.
But when you have hundreds of trucks, you have to find people that you
gotta
trust.
have,
and it's just like I said at the Christmas party, no one's at TriState accidentally.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's a rigorous process to get hired on here, even as a truck driver, because when you come on, like we want you, you're part of a family, man. I mean, you can't just come over here and just work for a week or 2 and it's not a company like that. Like when you hire on, like we truly want you to stay.
Right.
And we're going to do everything in our power to treat you right and give you every opportunity to succeed. And nothing's perfect. And I'll tell anybody, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, man, it's the same shitty job that everybody does.
No, for sure.
We just try to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And we try to be respectful.
And I think even past that point, it's came to a point for me to like, it's also, I don't know if this is the right way of saying this, but this may sound a little arrogant, you know what I mean? But it's also like wearing name brand stuff. Like, it's like wearing a pair, you grow up and all you get's a pair of 1995 Jordashes. So the first time you get to buy that fresh pair of Reeboks or Nikes or whatever it may be, or Carhartts or anything, Red Wings, whatever, like you have a little pride in it.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it's also evolved from not only having fun and being part of something great, it's like working for the best. It's like and being proud of the company that you're at. And like, no, I work here. You know, I've got a cousin that works in Waco and used to work offshore, drilling rigs and stuff like that, but works in Waco. I'm not real sure what he does, some kind of construction or something. And he messaged me on Facebook the other day, and he said, hey, bro, is there any way you can give me some hats? And I said, what kind of hats? Yeah. He's like, TriState hats. And he's like, dude, over here where we work in Waco, he's like, y'all dudes are the shit.
Yeah.
They love y'all out here. Like, it's a statement, you know. And even I found out the other day, bro, a TriState hat goes for $60 at Center High School.
What?
Straight up.
No way.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
No.
Dude, I could make
Barrett's daughter. Barrett's daughter. You know, Barrett's daughter, and that's the other thing. It goes down.
$60.
Like Barrett's been, how long has Barrett been here?
forever.
So, been here a long time, winch truck driver. You know what his daughter asked for Christmas?
A sleeve.
A tri-state hoodie.
I'm holding on to my hats, boy.
I'm not. I'm trying to sell everyone we got. $60 a hat, bro.
I'm holding on to my hat.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, I think it goes deeper than just, you know, looking like we have fun and this and that. It's also being proud of working for a reputable company. You know, I mean, for me, you know, around 2007 or so, whenever I was, you know, kind of easing towards getting out of music, like I love sneakers.
Yeah.
And I loved Nikes. And that was just my thing. And so I shot for and tried to, and I started working at Nike Town, Las Vegas, which is a high-end retail store for Nike. There's only a few in the country. And, you know, my plan was to just work up in the brand and become a rep or something in the brand. And I ended up moving back home for my wife and quit the job. One of the first jobs I ever quit. Like, I loved it. Hated to be sick, hated to miss work. And kind of like where I am now. I feel the same here.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you ought to get up every day and really look forward to what you're doing. That's the thing. I mean, to me, that's the litmus test. Like if I'm waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's different. Like you go to most places and you put on a uniform, like you kind of feel awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The first place I ever worked with a uniform was delivering beer for RK Distributors. I delivered Budweiser, and I hated wearing the uniform.
Yeah.
When you put on a shirt here, it's just different. You just feel different. You put it on.
Yeah.
Whether it's the skull or the TriState logo, you just feel different.
I'll never forget when the very first trailer that we put because if you go back to the very beginning, I did all of the stickers, every single one.
And I'll still get out there and do it.
And I still do quite a bit. I don't do all of them anymore. Because we hired a professional and they kind of do a better job than me. Although I'm pretty good at it. After 300 or 400 of them, I'm pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But anyways, I put on Corey Mosby.
Shout out to Will Wood.
Yeah, Will Wood.
He's been here
Griffin to Will Wood. Yeah. So I put his stickers on his trailer, the big skull sticker with TriState on it, and he called me that afternoon. And
he was crunk.
Man, he told me, he said, "Man, Troy, I feel like a boss rolling down the road." And I still think about it today, and that's been 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. And it still puts the biggest smile on my face just thinking about him calling me and telling me that. And the thing about it is, he's just as excited today as he was back then.
I put the last set on his trailer that he's got now, and he was, man, it looks good, man. You know, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
He's not a Dallas Cowboys fan.
No, he's not. No. He's going to hate me for saying that. You got to keep that in there, though. He's
an
Eagles fan. He's an Eagles fan.
He's an Eagles fan.
But his truck is Dallas Cowboy colors for sure.
Yeah.
Blue, white, silver.
It is Dallas Cowboys.
No doubt, yeah.
Yeah. That's what threw me off. Yeah, you're right. He is not a Cowboys fan at all. But, no, I mean, I was even in Slotsky's the other day for lunch and had the hoodie on and some dude that's a tool pusher in West Texas, you know, said something to me about it. You know, man, y'all got trucks in West Texas still? I said, nah, bro, we not out there.
Nah, we out of that.
We good.
The Thunderdome.
We didn't leave nothing out there. We need to go back and get it.
Nah, we left the Thunderdome. We gone from there.
So did you finish your topic on the Central?
Yeah. So, kind of going back to that, you know, the lesson the lesson that we can all have if we think about Central is if a 96-year-old company with 2,100 employees, I don't know how many tractors. Did it say how many tractors they had?
I think it was like, it seemed like I saw 1,600, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Because we're out there, most of their trucks
Okay,
are day cabs, aren't
CFL, which has over 2,100 employees, including 1,300 drivers and 1,600 power units.
They did a lot of LTL, so they handled a lot of material. Okay, so I would have to read more about this. Maybe they weren't charging enough for handling the shipments.
Possibly.
Because if they brought them in on a big truck, a full-size trailer, and then they had to unload them and then handle them and put them on the LTL trailers,
Yeah.
it's very possible they weren't charging enough for that portion of the shipment.
Yeah, because we've had that conversation too on some of our competitors that'll lowball, and try to get the work, and then it's like, and then they'll have, high wages as well. It's like, it's.
So you think they were trying to lowball a little bit because everything's going up, and that's what got them?
I don't know that they were trying to
I don't
lowball.
know.
Maybe they were trying to just remain where they've been.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe they were charging 2019 rates, and just like we're facing right now, every product that we buy, fuel, tires, parts, if you can buy parts, that's the other big thing.
Man, I did.
If you
Somebody
want
told me that the other day. They were like, "I can't get parts for my tractor."
nothing.
Nah, bro, you can't
No,
get
if you need a Cummins engine part, good luck.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've got more inventory in our shops than we've ever had, because I've always said we're not Napa. Don't keep inventory. But now
You have to.
you have to.
Yeah.
Right.
If a set of injectors comes in at Rush Peterbilt, I tell them just send them to me.
Right.
We'll just buy them, put them in inventory because we're going to need them. If a
You're
turbo,
basically becoming a stock company.
yeah.
At that point.
I mean, we used to keep, just for example, $100,000 worth of parts probably. We just didn't keep much because we get deliveries every single day.
Right.
Well, now we're keeping, upwards. We have 5 shops. We're keeping upwards of $1 million in parts. We've never had to do that,
Right.
and that's cash. You have to pay for that stuff. There's no 90-day net on that.
Right.
So your company has to be healthy enough to respond.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, and this is an important deal. We've always tried to be really healthy with our debt, and I'm not trying to bore you guys that are tuning in. You just don't. Yeah, for real.
It ain't boring when you get in a pickle, man.
Nah, man,
Yeah.
and it's
But you really need to sit down and understand that your house functions like a business.
like a business. Yeah.
It's the same.
100%.
It's just on a smaller scale. And
Right.
I use this word all the time, relative. It's all relative.
Yeah.
100 million to somebody is 1 million to another, is $10 to another.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
all relative.
Right.
And your business is no different than Central Freight Lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, and I'm trying to be a little more inspirational, maybe because of my tooth pounding my whole head half inside, but guys, you determine your value.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's sort of like, let me give you another inspiration. I tell my kids all the time, you decide the level of your future spouse.
Yeah.
If you think you can only pull this one,
Yeah.
that's all you gonna get.
Yeah. And you may not even get that.
Yeah, because that's the top.
Yeah.
Now, me, on the other hand, shout out to head boss
Hey,
lady.
we at this table got the
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm about tired of people telling me I'm married up, though, man. My wife is beautiful. I love my wife to death, but, she got a catch, too, man.
No, I married up for sure.
No,
That's
for
for
sure.
sure.
We did, man.
But,
Yeah.
but you determine your
do.
worth.
You do.
Right.
And it starts with, your spouse.
Right.
And if you set your limits up here,
Yeah.
now with me, I made up for a lot with personality.
Wasn't that strapping figure, bro? Wasn't all them guns. It wasn't that.
carrying that bread.
I didn't have bread.
No, yeah, real bread. He's
Real
talking about
bread.
real
Oh,
bread.
I
He's
carry
talking
real
about
bread.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember the story.
Yeah, I had.
You just changed the bread that you carry. That's
Yeah,
what
I traded in light bread for bread.
bread.
But
See,
in the
we
same,
need that we need that money thing. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
yeah, we gotta.
I'll get a cha-ching.
Listen to
It's
him.
necessary.
It is. Listen, here's what I need you to do. I need you to look on here and pay attention to what we don't use.
We don't use that.
Yeah, we do, man.
Yeah, we
Stories
will.
with
We're
Troy,
going to do
bro.
a story time with Troy here. And we don't use shift
We don't. What's this?
all that much.
Get rid of that.
You want to get rid of that?
That's negative.
That's negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want everything
We
to be
need
positive on the board. All right. Cha-ching.
Because everything is positive. You got applause.
My posse's on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
My posse's on Broadway.
I thought you said that on the microphone. That's why I hit it twice. I didn't know what it said.
Hey,
So,
for real. This is a true story.
Story time with Troy.
This is a true story. I had a customer, long time customer, very Christian man. I did not know watched our podcast.
Oh. Hey, I got some. Yeah.
hey.
Remind me later. Yeah. That's the last time we're going to use that.
No, it turned out okay. Okay.
Now you'd be surprised at who's watching.
So, anyways,
Shout out to all the watchers.
All the watchers.
all of them, including the one that I didn't know watches. So, anyways, he tells me the other day, he called me. He says, "Hey, T-Roy, man, I've been watching you little podcast on there.
Yeah.
And, man, I sure like that." He said, "Man, y'all doing a good job." I said, "Man, I appreciate it if you could just,
Click like, hit the bell.
click like, subscribe.
Subscribe,
It
hit-
means a lot."
Ding, ding, ding.
That was a little plug.
Yeah.
That's a little shameless plug right there.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah.
He likes it. He's watching it.
He said, "The funniest thing I've seen so far was you hollering out my posse's on Broadway at church." I like to fell in the floor because I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe.
Wow, man, it takes a real person to acknowledge funny things like that are just like that nobody else would ever admit to.
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Are you crying right now? Is your tooth hurting that bad, bro?
It hurts pretty bad.
Because you got a little. Your eyes are watering a little bit.
I was
over there.
actually laughing because of the deal.
You're
but
doing good, though. I mean, I have to admit, he's doing good. He's
Man, I'm
holding
telling
strong.
you,
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Dr. Puffer.
So the other day he told me that we were talking the other night at the Christmas party. He told me that somebody like shook his hand, loved watching your show, asked him, "Are you Steve?"
He did.
Because you look just like Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said
Yeah.
somebody else told him, "Man, I love watching y'all show, man. I sure do love that Steve." And Troy's like, "It's Truckin with Troy."
Twice in 1 week.
And then we've been at, why is Tim on the show?
Another guy said,
Yeah.
"What does the other guy do?"
Nothing. I do nothing.
I said, "I don't know. Let's talk about that."
Everything that makes the show work.
Yeah.
So,
you know?
so for all the viewers, Tim sets all this stuff up.
Yeah.
He's in control of this board. He did actually put it a little too close to me this time. And
Tim edits.
he does all
cuts-
the editing.
Cuts all the footage. And
Because we'll video for like 2 hours and he shrinks it down to like an hour so that you guys don't get bored watching all the nonsense.
And essentially he's the eye. When he edits, he has to know what to keep, what not to keep,
Yeah.
where it goes, when it goes.
And I attempt to keep everybody on subject.
Yes,
he
you
does.
do.
He
Yeah.
does a lot more
like
than
the
people.
principal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot more than whoever that one person was that wanted
Yeah.
to know what Tim did.
And
Yeah.
and out of
Because there's going to be people that don't want me on the show.
every group, you got to have that one boring guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Tim is.
You get bored at my house.
Tim does. Yeah.
Because I'm tell you what, when I get home after talking all day, I literally sit in my chair and I don't say a word.
You just read comments.
I do read all the comments. And I laugh at them. Sometimes the people that really come after me pretty hard, I just say a little prayer for them.
That's all you can do, and to those people, to the people that hate or the people that bring negativity. I don't know why you do it, what you do it for, but I watched the deal with Shaquille O'Neal. It was old. It was an old thing, but this cop got called to these kids. There was a complaint of kids playing basketball in the street. Like, and this is a couple years ago. Like, I kind of expect it now. It's like 2019, you know. Complain of kids playing basketball in the street. Like, this same person.
Because they shouldn't be doing that.
Right. And this
they
same
should be
person,
on video games.
Exactly. This same person is probably complaining that kids don't get outside enough.
Yeah.
So it's just a negative person. So the cop goes out there, and he walks up to the kids, and he says, I got a complaint of kids playing basketball on the street. This cop looks right at the kids. He's like, can y'all believe that? And he's like, I don't have no problem with it. And he knocks the ball out of the kid's hand and starts playing basketball with him.
Yeah.
In uniform.
I saw that.
Plays ball with him.
Yeah.
And they beat him. He played a good game. Wasn't that good? And he said, next time I come back, I'm bringing some backup,
Right.
And so they were, I guess they put this whole deal together, and Shaquille O'Neal ends up going out there with a bunch of the cops and goes out there. But, Shaq told them, dude, it's just kind of like you say, everybody's got the same 24 hours. Shaq told them kids, and he made them repeat stuff after him. I'll be great. I'll be a leader. I won't be a follower. I'll be this and that. Man, anybody and everybody's got the opportunity to be anything you want to be.
You do.
That's right.
If y'all want to be us, I ain't mad at that.
Beat us.
Put it together and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't hate us just for doing what we enjoy to do. Because I'm the difference between me and somebody like that is I want everybody to succeed.
Dude, there's so much opportunity in America, and there's so much money if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Success is not money.
Nah, I mean,
success is,
if you can get a $500,000 house, you get a $2 million house, man,
great.
I'm happy for you.
It's time to thank our sponsor.
Yeah. Shout out
Russ Truck Center.
Jeremy Dalton. Asshole.
Little asshole. Hey, but I do want to go back to the inspirational stuff, because I had it on my mind. I wanted to talk about today, and I was talking about the level of spouses, and it's not it's not always about looks, although you do need to be attracted to who you're going to be married to.
Well, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Plays a part.
It plays pretty good part.
Yeah.
Pretty good part.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the thing that I wanted to bring up is, Tim, you said one time you were manifesting a job, and you said it as a joke, but it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true, because I if you don't listen to anything else on this whole podcast, I want you to listen to this one thing.
You talking to Tim or the viewers?
The viewers.
Okay.
I switched from Tim.
Well,
to the viewers.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're here.
Yeah.
What?
Tim too. You determine what you can do in life.
100%.
And if you let other people alter your course because of how they feel about you, then you let an outside force change the course of your life.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing that you must remember is, when you have goals, you can't just have a goal. You have to have a plan too, how you're going to get there.
Right.
You got to pull out the old atlas and say, okay, how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
And it's a long process.
Yeah. I think that's why I never really, really reached that spot in music, because I lacked a plan.
You got to have the plan.
Well, you got to be consistent.
And you know what though too? You need a little luck. And sometimes sometimes you have to make luck happen.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, I've been in situations before where I saw somebody that would be kind of cool to meet, and I knew that it would, maybe open a door, but at least be able to make an introduction. So that goes back to this. It goes back to who you are inside. Do you have the courage? Courage is a big word.
Yeah.
Do you have the courage to walk up to a guy that's worth $150 million? I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm not patting myself on the back, but it takes a lot of courage when your net worth is $300.
Yeah.
And you're in a room that you don't belong in.
Straight
You
up.
were just, and I think and the funny thing about money is, those people, they know who don't belong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They knew.
Right.
I was at a dinner one time in Houston, and my net worth was probably $300.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and it wasn't in my pocket.
Yeah,
It was like, I hope I don't have to pay for these drinks that I'm drinking.
No, for sure.
And I met some really cool people, and it opened some doors for me. But if I didn't have the courage to make luck happen and go meet those people, then, maybe I wouldn't.
And here's the thing that yeah, exactly. Because there's been times in my life where you sort of wait for a door to open. You kind of wait around. This is how it's been for most of my career, and the thing that I do is you just kind of wait for something to open, and when it opens, you go through that door. And then I realized 2 years ago, you got to start kicking some doors.
So explain this to me though. Here, we're getting a little deep, but so
would I be right in saying that? I mean, that's kind of the same as what you're saying. Is you got to go kick down a door essentially and say, "I'm here."
Now, except before we do your question, before we say that, there are times when a door closes,
yeah,
and something will just tell me, don't go against the grain on this because it's just not meant to be.
right.
Sometimes when doors close and it's just too much, and that's a tough decision, and that's only a decision that you can make.
And especially if you just knew that was the right door. That was it. Like, this is it.
Is this your
door,
question?
No.
Okay.
That's not my question. But just saying, playing off what he's saying, like the hardest decision to make is to let a door close that you just would have banked everything on being the door.
Yeah, yes, 100%. You would have bet the house on it.
Yeah.
You would have went all in.
Yeah.
And the door just slammed shut.
Yeah.
And you're like, man.
You got to move to another door.
You got to be willing to move to another door.
And that's when the most effective thing you can do is hit them knees and you sit down. And here's
he's going right into what I was finna say. Go ahead.
And this is important too. I'm not trying to get into a long scriptural thing. Because this could go a long way. So we'll put a 60-second time limit on this.
Go ahead.
Here's the deal. You don't hear God. You know what I'm saying? He don't talk like this. Like, he's not going to say.
You don't hear him audibly. Yeah.
He's not going to say, "Hey, Troy, I shut that door because that was a bad decision, dummy." He doesn't talk like that. It's how you feel.
Yeah.
And you can only feel it if it's just you. No outside influences.
Right.
All by yourself. No Kevin Gates playing.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
sure. Because you start kicking all kind of doors over when Kevin Gates plays.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of influence right there.
Man, if I listen to Kevin Gates, I'm busting the door down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no music. You just sit there. And I say knees as in I could be driving.
No, most definitely.
I could be anywhere.
Going before God.
You just must be there by yourself and really listen.
Yeah.
And you know what? You ain't always going to get the answer you're looking for.
No.
Probably
Majority
most of the time, you're not.
Right.
And that's when you have to be a smart enough person to say, you know what? It's a bad one.
Yeah.
Sometimes humility is.
So my question was, from that standpoint, it's funny you went that direction with it, but from that standpoint, like, a lot of people feel or believe that God's got your whole life mapped out, right? Like I believe that God's presents you with those decisions because that's why we still have free will, because if everybody's life was mapped out, then
what's the point?
It wouldn't matter what you decide.
Yeah, so we've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, so
well, the will of God is not hard.
No,
it is not difficult. Because at the end of the day, when it talks about raising up a child in the way that they should go, it's not beating a child.
No,
that's finding the thing that's in them and helping them.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
you're steering
it doesn't
them.
necessarily mean
because
discipline.
The thing that's in them is going to make them a success in life.
Right.
So anyways, hey guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Truckin with Troy. The episodes seem to get better and better.
They're just going to get better and better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to our official sponsor, Rush Truck Center, Rush Enterprises.
Yep.
Shout out to TriState, Massey Motor Freight.
always growing. Yeah. I'm going to say it again.
Say it again.
Hey, if y'all like the show, click like and subscribe, and please hit that bell. And then it'll tell you every time we upload one, because we upload these short videos every day, so we don't want you to miss those, because that's like the highlights. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Watch the whole thing to catch the meat.
You can put these on while you're cleaning your house.
You don't have to watch
while you're in your truck.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean,
so like we're talking to truck drivers mostly.
Yeah.
Not to open up another show.
Because I say too, once we get about 20 full episodes, we'll do a distribution through.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, Spotify or something like that.
So like when you're driving, you don't have to watch, because all we're doing is sitting here.
Yeah.
Turn it on, listen to it, and because I mean we're talking to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Really appreciate y'all watching Truckin with Troy this week. I'm Steve.
I'm Tim.
I'm Troy. Hey, thank y'all for watching. Click like, subscribe, hit that bell. We appreciate it.
We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next
Sayonara.
week.